Welcome to CelebShift, the channel where time rewinds and beloved actors are seen like never before. Today, we step into a hauntingly magnetic world that became a global phenomenon, Squid Game. Are you ready to see how its actors changed, what they were then, and what they are now? Get cozy, we're starting. Once, they were nearly invisible, actors quietly moving through the Korean entertainment world. Some went from audition to audition, hearing no, some nearly gave up, others worked odd jobs to survive. But everything changed with one project. Squid Game exploded on Netflix and became a worldwide obsession. It all began with debt, pain, and the struggle to survive. The main character, Jung Ho-yeon, played by Lee Jung-jae. When he took this role, he was already over 40. He wasn't a newcomer. He had been a movie star in Korea years before, but recently he had faded from the spotlight. Then came this role. After the premiere, his face appeared in every global headline. He became the face of a new Asian wave in entertainment. His gaze, intense, weary, real. Now, when you look at him, you feel the pain and strength poured into every single scene. Park Hae-soo, who portrayed Cho Sang-woo, was mainly a theater actor when filming began. Calm, intellectual, with sharp features. His character was tragic, morally complex. Today, years later, he's starring in international projects, and you can see the transformation. Colder, more polished, closer to Hollywood. Jung Ho-yeon, forever remembered as Sae-byuk, a runway model. A girl with an indescribable aura. She was brand new to acting, yet her stare, her restrained pain, it captivated millions. Today, her face graces the covers of Vogue, Elle, Chanel. She's not just an actress, she's a global icon. And of course, Oh Young-soo, player 001. His performance? Legendary. He played with our expectations. When the truth was revealed, millions held their breath. In his 70s, he became the first Korean actor to win a Golden Globe. Imagine, decades in the shadows. Then, suddenly, the recognition he had waited for all his life. Even the side characters became famous. The enforcer, the handsome recruiter, the mysterious host, each one became instantly recognizable. They starred in commercials, talk shows, international films. Their faces became memes. The masks, the doll, the green tracksuits, all now part of pop culture. People dressed as the characters for Halloween, made TikToks, cosplayed at conventions. It wasn't just a show, it was a movement. And it all started with pain, with debt, with desperation. At moments, it was terrifying because people saw themselves. The story felt closer to real life than expected. The director's eye, the cold colors, the tension in the music. It built a world you couldn't forget. And now, when we see what they looked like before the show and what they are now, it's like looking into two different universes. Back then, hopeful dreamers. Now, realized stars. But success always has a price. Exhaustion, pressure, the weight of millions of eyes. Each one of them has changed. Some on the outside, some deep within. One thing is clear, Squid Game changed their lives forever. You look at their faces and remember where you were when you first hit play. What you felt, what you thought. It became part of your personal story. Welcome to CelebShift. Here, we don't just talk about films, we feel them. Subscribe if you want to know how time reshapes stars and why every role is more than a performance. It's a mirror of its time. Thanks for watching.